This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Latin Metals, Mr. Keith Henderson. Keith, great to have you back on. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks. Thanks very much for having me back. I really appreciate it.
Well, listen, the last time that you and I spoke publicly, we talked about the multiple shots on goal with having major partners funding exploration at various projects. You just discovered high-grade copper mineralization at 100% owned project in Peru, the Tillo project. And I wanted to have you back on because I know we spoke a bit privately about what you're seeing and the target that you're developing, or the targets that you're developing. And I know that the team is as enthusiastic as can be, and I get enthusiastic because I know you have a very methodical approach to developing projects and targets, and then getting them joint ventured, preferably with a partner. But we were already talking about possibly 3 and maybe even 4 drill programs this year. And now it looks like you have another pretty exciting project to work on and potentially joint venture. Is that going to be the approach, Keith?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what people focus on the advanced projects. They focus on the excellent partners that they have. They focus quite rightly on the fact that we're going to have 3 drill programs this year, hopefully. But I'm not surprised that people look at this, but there's a very important another side to our business here, which is what we're doing in the background. And we've got to be identifying projects, acquiring projects, getting work done on the ground, hopefully making discoveries, and then finding more partners. And that's what's going to make this model work so well for us. Like, the more partners we have, ultimately more drilling, ultimately a better chance of success. Also, clearly, when you get partners, you end up having more and more money coming into the company. That's more non-dilutive cash, which means, again, less financing. So every aspect of this model doesn't just rely on the back end where you've got the partners getting busy with the things that you wanted to achieve, but what you're doing ahead of that, which is hopefully making discoveries. And this TO project is just a really great example of that. Like, it's just something we staked from nothing. As far as we know, there's never been any work done on this project ever by anybody. We identified it as having potential. We acquired it for very, very minimal cost. And now we've done just the very initial parts of our work, and we've got really good soil results. It looks really great. It's really cohesive anomaly over a very large area, and we're just waiting for some rock results. We took some initial rock samples, and hopefully those will come in too. So yeah, this is a massively important part of what we're doing. It doesn't always get all of the attention, but in due course, hopefully, if these projects work out, these will be partnered up as well, and they'll be just as important as our more advanced ones.
What comes next, Keith? There's a lot of eyes on the story. I think people are starting to figure out the quality and the caliber of the projects that you've been able to amass in the portfolio. What comes next for new shareholders that may be wondering and maybe aren't as familiar with the story as we are?
Well, there'll be more work on this project. There'll be initial work on another project called Para. There'll be hopefully more acquisitions, and hopefully some of our more advanced exploration projects in Peru will be attracting partners. Our Laksha project in Peru over the last kind of 18 months has just done really, really well. And of course, we announced that we'd secured a drill permit for that one at the beginning of January. And so for me, for my money, that's a project that's just ready for a partner. And so, obviously we spend a lot of time engaging with potential partners and trying to negotiate the right deal for the project. But hopefully that's something that we can get wrapped up here in the next month.
It's an exciting time for the company. It's exciting to shareholders to have this much quality exposure to not just Peru, but obviously Argentina as well, to have exposure to copper, to have exposure to gold, to have exposure to molybdenum. Anything else to add to that, Keith? Thanks for coming on. Always appreciate your time, and obviously looking forward to the multiple catalysts this year.
Yeah, nothing to add. We just expect to keep on going with the news flow. We have a year where we plan to have a lot of news flow. We've got a lot of projects, a lot of things happening, and so I hope that we can just continue to deliver really interesting news releases and significant news that people can really buy into.
Looking forward to all that news. Keith, thanks again.
Great. Thanks a million.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.